Hello, welcome back to Miss Flores' virtual classroom. Today is Tuesday, November the 10th. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have you here. Today we're going to continue talking about maps. We talked about maps yesterday. We talked about what maps are, what they look like, what information we can learn from them. We also talked about relative location, map symbols, and what the legend is on a map. I'm excited for us to talk today about directions. We're going to be talking about lots and lots of things. Before we start, let's go ahead and go over our standards again. All right, so don't forget we're going to be gathering information using pictures and maps for 2.15a. We're going to be using these pictures to think about ways that we're comparing and contrasting information. We're going to make some predictions. We're going to talk about the main ideas whenever we're using videos that we're looking at or pictures and maps that we'll be looking at today. 2.16d, we're going to be thinking about words that we're using to describe maps, right? Yesterday, our vocabulary, we learned words such as relative location, symbols, legend, and key. Today, we're going to be learning about lots of more words. 2.16e, we're going to be using our own experiences, what we already know, and our experiences with maps already to help us learn more today. We are also going to be 2.3a, we're going to identify and use information on maps and globes using basic map elements such as the title, cardinal directions, and legends. So yesterday we talked about the title and the legend. Today we're going to be talking about cardinal directions. And then 2.4b, we're going to locate some places in a local community such as Texas, the United States, the state capital, the U.S. capital, and the bordering countries of Canada and Mexico on a map and globe. So you're going to look at some maps with me today, and we're going to talk about if we can find the things we need to find on these maps. So yesterday we left on relative location. Now we are going to distance and scale. And we talked just a little bit about what a scale is yesterday, but we're going to go more into it today. Distance is how far it is from one place to another. You can tell the distance on the map by looking at the scale. Remember, this is the social studies terminology that we're using today. A scale uses inches to stand for miles. On this scale, 1 inch equals 1 mile. Now, you probably know a mile is pretty long. That's a long way to run. But if we're looking at a map, can we make a map like 10 miles long? Probably not, because every 1 inch on the map is going to count for 1 mile. So you can see right here where they have our measuring tape, and you can see they're showing us this is 1 inch, and it says on the scale that it is 1 mile, right? So whenever you're trying to figure out how much distance a map has, make sure you look at its scale. All right, the next thing we're learning is cardinal and intermediate directions. Look at this compass rose. Let's take a look at the compass rose. Let's read all the directions this compass rose tells us. North, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest. I'm only familiar with 4 of those directions. Do you recognize them too? If you said I recognize north, east, south, and west, then you're in the same boat as me. I can't wait to learn about these other directions: northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Let's find out. You have probably heard of north, south, east, and west. There are other directions in between those directions. For example, northeast is between north and east. Southwest is between south and west. Those are called intermediate directions, right? So north, east, south, and west are our cardinal directions. The intermediate directions are the ones that are in between in blue. That was super cool. of maps. There are many different types of maps. The map title tells you what it shows. A physical map. Let's take a moment and look at the physical map. It's the one that's on top. A physical map shows things like mountains and bodies of water. Can you see how it shows us where there might be mountains? And can you see the blue of the water? Cool. A political map shows boundaries. Boundaries are dividing lines between places. Let's take a look at that. So that is the political map right now. It's showing us boundaries. Can you guess what those boundaries show? Take a good look at that political map. What do you think the boundaries show? If you said it shows the 50 states of the United States, you're right. A theme map shows special things like the regions of a place and how many people live there. Let's take a closer look. Whoa! This map shows us all the cities. It also shows us different regions like the Panhandle Plains, the Hill Country, the South Texas Plains, and the Gulf Coast, the prairies and the lakes, the piney woods, and Big Bend Country. Can you tell us where Austin is? We live just an hour away from Austin, so what region do we live in according to this map? Did you say Hill Country? That's right! Great job! Let's go ahead and watch a video about different types of maps.
Where are you? When asked that question, did you know you could give 3 different answers? You could give your place, such as across the street from the school. You could give your location, which is an address, 1146 Elm Street. You could also answer with your absolute location. This involves using latitude and longitude. Your answer would be something like this: 40 degrees 14 north, 111 degrees 39 west. This would pinpoint on a map exactly where you are. To help us find absolute locations in the world, map makers, called cartographers, use latitude and longitude. The Earth is broken into imaginary lines running around it horizontally. There are the latitude lines. Vertical lines running from the north to south poles are called longitude lines. This type of location identification is helpful if you're in the middle of the ocean or jungle where there are no roads or street signs. If you're lost and you have no idea what your location is, that's where a compass comes in handy. Compasses always point north. If you can tell where north is, you know where south, east, and west are, and you can usually find your way to where you need to go. Of course, we can also rely upon a global positioning system, also called GPS. The Earth is large, but thanks to place, location, and absolute location, you can find that pizza place your friends keep telling you about.
All right, awesome job! Let's take one more look at one more assignment and then we'll be finished, right? That was so cool to learn about the different ways you could tell about where you are to someone. All right, so we're looking at map coordinates. And if you remember, we talked about how to use the map, the parts of a map. Remember, the coordinates are the numbers or letters on the outside of the map, and we can use them to tell us where we are. So, look at this map. What city is located on C6? Can you help me find C on the bottom? Because our letter's on the bottom. So we have A, B, C. So this is the line for C. I'm looking for 6. Help me find 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and remember, I want to go on C, so I'm at 6. So A, B, C. What city is there? Amarillo! Great job. Can you tell me what city is almost on 4E? What city is almost on 4E? Let's go ahead and find our letter E. A, B, C, D, E. And now I want you to go to 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. What city am I on? Dallas! Great job. That's how you would use coordinates to help you figure out where you are on a map. Awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me for our social studies lesson this week. Remember, we only have 2 social studies lessons this week. We do not have school tomorrow on November 11th on Wednesday, but we will come back on Thursday, November 12th with a science lesson. Have a great day and have a great day off tomorrow, students. Happy Tuesday.